Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
I don't know what's wrong with my lighting today, but I'm going to be beige. I'll be beige tonight.
It looks beautiful. We're ready
Well,
all for fall. It's a
I'm
prelude to fall.
yes, my little tribute. I've been practicing with my intro music, and I was watching my phone, and it took a whole minute for the notification to go out. So I think that intro starting early is good. Hi, Kimberly. SR, you were the first one. You're the first one, so you get a prize. I don't know what that prize is. Maybe I'll buy you a cup of coffee. CJ, good to see you, dear. Charlie's here. Coach Ellen, Don Yapez, and she's my friend. And Mary Thornberry.
Oh, shoot.
What?
My screen went away. I have to just get it back up. It's just went behind everything, so I'll get it back.
Okay. We've got Maria is grateful. Cynthia Smith, you made it. Thank you. Maria is grateful. Kim Lee. All right. So I just want to remind you that Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. Thank you so much. The light changes as it gets deeper into the closer to fall, and I'm just having a terrible time with my lighting. So you can just go ahead. Oh, I'm so happy everyone's here. A lot of people are here tonight, and I have something I found something that just cracked me up, and I'm just going to say it while people come in. Hello, Jen. While people come in, and it is karma means I can rest easy at night knowing that all the people I treated badly had it coming.
There's a song from Chicago. He had it coming.
I saw those old songs. I saw a YouTube channel this morning about Carly Simon and what's his name? James Taylor, that got married. It was a terrible relationship. They went on and on about it. And so it described how each personality was in the marriage. And so I had to do their numbers, and it was so right on. I get so excited when I think I know a number, someone's life path number. And I'm right. But someday I'll share that. Hello. Okay. So you have some news.
I do. And I wanted to say that some of you are aware we're going to have a really great new moon on the 2nd, and we're going to speak about that at length. And Mercury's now going direct in Leo. We'll talk a little bit about that and all the other good stuff that's happening this week. But first, I would just want to have a little recap of things that have been happening and give us some perspective on things in a good way, so that we feel ready to handle everything.
Okay, before we get ready to handle, for entertainment purposes only. And we dance around that a little bit. Now, also, please, we will be doing messages if time allows. So if you want to put in a question, that'd be great. But please put the whole question, including your birthday, if you want me to do your numbers, or if you know your numbers, that would be fun, but all in capital letters. And I'm going to be starring them as they come in during Lalit's time. So I'm going to leave you to
and I'm not going to wear your ears off. It's not going to be a long speech. It's going to be brief and to the point.
All right.
Real good. So leave all the time for the important stuff that Debra can do for you. So just a real quick recap of some of the things that have been happening, because some of those influences are still going, and it'll help us get a perspective and feel good and ready, full of energy and vitality, and ready to cope with everything. We're gonna do it. So the first thing I was thinking of about this month, if we had to go back and say, what could sum up this month? Well, I was thinking if FDR were here making his famous speech, he'd say, this was a month that will live in infamy. Well, maybe not infamy, but notorious. Anyway, you heard everyone speaking about things saying, oh, it's never happened before. We had, that big Uranus conjunct Mars and Algol that week when I said, oh, I didn't tell you that Algol is the Medusa star, and the image of that is actually beheading. So the worst didn't happen. Came close, but it didn't happen. Okay. And so we always keep the message positive here. We don't want to say anything like that. But I remember talking to Debra before the show, the day before, saying I wanted to show a little image from the movie Total Recall, where they come in and the woman that he's going through, Arnold Schwarzenegger is going through this airport security, and there's this woman that's like a robot, and it's really Arnold. It's in disguise of an old fat woman, and she goes, you're in for a big surprise. So that was my image for the week. Well, okay, so that happened. And we had an assassination attempt. We had, as prophesied, 45 got overconfident, appointed J.D. Vance, and set himself up for a perfect, epic downfall that is coming, this epic collapse that is heading his way, just Shakespearean. Then we had a week off. That is, okay, we're in the eye of the hurricane now, and then built up to the next Democratic convention was coming, and I said, we're going to have Mars and Jupiter together. Remember, the image of that is the joyful warrior, Mars being the warrior, Jupiter being joy, and all those T-squares that were so strong, and all of the retrograde planets, and everything is so intense. Well, all of the newscasters have been telling you, we've never seen anything like this. And the president gave up President Biden passed the torch peacefully and set up this wonderful thing. And in the Democratic convention, we had the beautiful explosion of joyful warrior, humanitarian influence. Harris stepped out like a shooting star with we were saying joyful warrior, and so many beautiful images. I don't know about you all, but I cried a lot during that convention. And if I had to pick one moment that I thought was just for me, if I had to pick, it was all beautiful. I mean, it was fantastic, the whole thing. But the one moment that just made me sob uncontrollably was when Gus Waltz pointed up to the stage with a pride, and he's crying, and this big hunky looking guy just in tears going, that's my dad, that's my dad. What a feeling of pride and joy. I mean, it was just overwhelmingly emotional. I hope you all felt the joy and beautiful expression of that. But let's say this, you there have the two expressions of the same energy, of that Mars energy, the polar opposites. Now, this is your lesson today. That energy is neutral, and because you see Mars and Uranus and all these things together, it doesn't mean that the sky is falling on your head. It is what you make of it, because the energy of itself is neutral, and you are able to express it for its highest form. And Mars, in its highest positive expression, is great vitality and life force, the beginning of new things, new expression. In its negative expression, it's aggressive, violent, destructive, vengeful. Then those are the low vibrational expressions of it. So depending on how you choose, because there's always free will, to bring this energy into your life, it will occur in that way in your personal life. Now, in the collective, for all of us, we have both of those choices there for us. And this moment here, this moment on Earth, is the moment of choice, because the two paths couldn't be laid out any more clearly for you or to anyone. who has eyes to see. Now, some people don't. Now, here's the thing. Each of us here is an expression of vibration. Every science has proven that energy is vibration, and everything in the universe is this vibration, and all that is the great force. We are each of us a kernel, you could say a kernel of the great all that is. But in reality, all that is doesn't exist if you don't exist, because then it wouldn't be all that is, right? You are an integral part of all that is and necessary. You are a cog of the wheel, a necessary cog of the wheel. And every individual soul expression is. We cannot judge the other cogs in the wheel because we don't know what their experiences are. We don't know why they're doing what they're doing or what their choices are. You can lead by example. You can show them the positive choice and you can help educate people. But ultimately, it's their choice what the path that they choose to take. And you can do nothing about that. So you do your best, and you always act with kindness and compassion and non-judgmental. And the rest you leave up to God, because it's not your decision to judge. You can't judge other people. So in your heart, you have to take a step back. See it for 30,000 feet up. And we're taking part in this giant Shakespearean play that all the characters are so strong. And it's an interesting time. And believe me, the ETs say about this planet where we are living that this is graduate school. This is one of the highest schools in the whole universe because it's so difficult, because the energy is so dense, and because we've forgotten our contact with the higher self. We've lost contact sometimes, and we don't know it's very difficult. So give yourself a pat on the back and say, well, this is graduate school. What do you expect? And you chose to be here, or we wouldn't be here. This is our choice. So you have to say, why am I here? Or what am I here to learn? Why is all this going on around me? And how can I be a better person and be a better contributor to all these things? And really, you have to just take life one step at a time and just always be kind and compassionate and non-judgmental, and just do the best you can. You see that the choice with this Mars energy, one image is really Joan of Arc, the courageous warrior with the sword, and Kamala is the justice, the scales of justice. And so that's her image. So she's got the scales of justice, the Hierophant. We have the sword and the shield. And it's really Joan of Arc, as opposed to, what the other thing is that's happening. And believe me, you have a choice as to which planet you want to live on, and it will occur. So we have to just go forward with strength and confidence and faith that the highest good will take place. And we can see what a malignant narcissist could do to our country. It's not going to go that direction. Don't worry. Looking ahead at if there is a debate on the 10th, Kamala has got really great aspects. 45 is going to be really short-circuiting the brain. Energy shooting out in all uncontrolled directions. He can't help himself right now. And Mercury is sitting right on top of his Mars. And it's in bad aspect to current Mars. So he's out of control, angry, vengeful, spiteful, saying things that he's just going to regret, and just shooting himself in the foot, shooting off one toe at a time. So what can we do? That's what's going on. And we have the benefit of contrast, because you can clearly see the contrast of what you don't want. It can't be any more clear. So we're lucky in that. And this situation is not going to continue that much longer. We still have those Saturn and Uranus problems, and it will not really be passing until like December, January time, that things are going to be happy and calm and heading in the right direction. But keep that in mind, that the small things that you do are really important. Do you remember there was an old movie that came on at Christmas time every year? It was called Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart. He was going to commit suicide. He was so unhappy. He thought he was a total failure. And his angel was sent to him. His angel has said, "Oh no, I'm sent here to show you how much good you've brought to people." And he gave him flashbacks into things, small things that he'd done at his job, at work, in the bank, that had helped so many people and had changed the lives of so many people, that he'd sent out all these ripples of goodness that had affected his whole town. And he had no idea that he'd been a force of good for all that, And there is a TV show that is kind of similar to this. It's Anthony Shane, CHENE Productions on TV, on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. All they do is NDE experiences. And I was seeing this one lady who was saying that in her life review that she got when she did the NDE, she saw herself standing in line at the grocery store, and there was a bit line forming in front of the woman in front of her. Couldn't pay for her groceries and was fishing around trying to see what she could put back, what she couldn't buy, what it was that she could do without. And this woman that was the NDE, the lady who was having her life review, was behind this lady and said, "Here, don't worry, this has happened to me," because she was a single mom and had been she was very poor, raising 2 kids all by herself. So she gave this lady the money. It was change, like 70 cents. And said, "Don't worry about it. It happened to me. Don't worry." And in her life review, this turned out to be a really big deal, because she saw that this woman had gone on to be a volunteer to help other people at the food bank. And she saw this woman at the food bank. A lady came up to get something, and then she had too much stuff. There was like minimum payment she had, and she didn't have the money. And the woman said, "Oh, I've been there before. Let me pay for it for you. And she said, it touched her heart so much, because she realized this gesture that she'd completely forgotten about, didn't think it was important, is still affecting lives of people today. It's going out in the universe. So the word is, this expression, pass it on. So you get something good, you pass it on. And in this period of strife and difficulty, this is all we can do. So do what you can. And it may seem to you nothing, but it's not, because you're sending out ripples of goodness that will have a profound effect. And if each of us does that, the world is going to be a different place. This is true for all of us. So we can't see the big picture. We don't understand what other people's role is in what Dante called the divine comedy, So don't judge other people. You don't know what's going on with them. Just have love and compassion in your heart for everyone at all times. Pay attention to your own choices and gently help other people try to understand what's going on. And if they can't, that's their choice. Everyone has freedom of choice. So pass it on and don't worry about it. This is a good time for manifesting. And things will happen to you. On Saturday and Sunday, I tried to set up my new computer that someone had given me, that they had to move away. They gave me a computer. I set it up and it wouldn't run my astrology program. Saturday and Sunday, I tried everything. And oh boy, I said, it doesn't work. Okay. So I called my son and I told him, I said, "I'm going to give you this computer. I'll bring it over when I pick you up on Tuesday." So Tuesday morning, I call him and he said, "Oh, don't come now." He said, "It's something really big thing has happened, really serious, and I can't talk. I'll call you back in a little bit." Turned out his wife, who was a teacher at this school, her dream job, and I have to bring in here about Debra's cards. Debra's cards. Her clarity deck is so unbelievable for readings. Last year, I'd given them a reading. She was really concerned. I won't go into the detail, but desperate to get a new job, and had been trying everything so hard, like a month of going out every day, doing everything, putting out resumes, going to interviews, trying to get any kind of job just to get by, even to work at Jack in the Box or Pizza Hut. I mean, really, we went everywhere to get them a job just to get off there, because school was not in session and she's a teacher. I needed something to tide her off. So I got Debra's cards out. We did a card for the 7 days, and whereas nothing, had no hope, she was just giving up. And I said, looking at the cards, it's Thursday, you're going to get an offer for a job. Friday, you'll sign the papers. And guess what? Thursday, she got a call out of the blue of a charter school here in Las Vegas. That was a charter school for special kids. She has a master's for special ed and math teacher. So she gets this job. It's the job of her life. And the Friday, she signed the papers. And so she's been really happy. And what happened is on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., the school had to shut down for low enrollment. And they called all the teachers at 7 a.m. saying you had to come clear out all your stuff. It's all, done. The school has to close for low enrollment. And she was like, hit the ground. She's been teaching there for a year, loved it. Everything was great. So the computer that I thought I was going to use for doing astrology for everybody, they needed it. And I had it loaded up to bring over to them, and they really needed it for doing, now she has to get unemployment for a month till she gets her new job, but she'll get a new one. There's 1,000 openings here, literally, in Las Vegas for teachers. They're really short. So she'll be okay. And I'm going to give her a good reading with Debra's cards like last year. So that was such a help. When she heard that reading that I gave her with Debra's cards, just changed life around for her. And those cards are just a miracle. But anyway, so to get to the point, now, this week, we got this coming up. Here's the situation. New moon. This is September 2nd. For Pacific time on September 2nd, September 2, 6:55 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're on East Coast, that's 3:55 p.m. So this is the time, as you know, watching this group, this is the time to set your intention, set your path, make your clear choices. Now, in this case, the choices are of a spiritual nature, because you can see that here's the moon and sun together in Virgo, and opposite, we've got Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. The big choice is exactly what I was talking about, just a spiritual choice. Which path are you going to go? I don't think any of us really are wondering, because we can see what the choice is. And we have to work for the spiritual good for mankind at this point. There will be legal issues coming up for certain people. There will be a little bit of problems and stress, because it is T-squares, but this is a time of great energy. And the joyful warrior, Mars and Jupiter, is still a little bit active, but it's fading away. Mercury has gone direct. It's in Leo, but it's still in the shadow. By the way, the other thing that happened during that time, we had the biggest, during that Mercury retrograde period when all that was bad, it was the biggest collapse of the internet and communication, satellite communications, everything. The biggest shutdown in the history of man happened. So we lived through all that stuff. Now we're heading into the light, and the choice is very clear. Don't despair. Don't have anxiety. Virgo, with a Virgo thing, is that part worrying. Don't worry. Give up worrying. Live in joy. Have your little medicine ready. Like I have my kitties nearby where I can hug. Whatever it is that rings your bell. For me, it's my kitties and music, and get some physical exercise. Take care of your health, and keep a clear head. And don't worry. I told you this every time I've told you the truth, right? I've been saying it loud and clear. And every week it's been happening just like we said. So no anxiety, head for the spiritual realm. See yourself as a spark of the divine, and every little thing you do has enormous consequences. Don't judge other people. Don't let their hate or vengeful attitudes affect you. When you see that, you put a shield around yourself. Protect yourself from those negative things. Don't get involved. Take a step back. You operate in love. Just take care of small business. Have your goals clear, your intentions set, and it's a great time for manifesting. Give away the stuff you don't need. You know, when I gave away that computer, I was so happy. I want someone to have you to use it. And they, at that moment, really need it now because she's got to put in the job application. It's good for that. I couldn't use it for the astrology board because it needed like 3 gigabytes of space just to download it. I couldn't even download it. So it's perfect for, for that. So it was meant for that to be passed on. So if you have items in your house, pass it on that you're not using. Give it to someone who can use it. And you know what? When you do that, the benefits will come to you. So Venus in this new chart is in Libra. So this is good for legal issues coming to the forefront, but it's good for harmony between people. So do your best to always express love. And there will be moments when you'll be tempted to do the opposite. Don't let it get you. Just always take the high road, and the world is going to be such a better place for those little things. You might give 70 cents to someone and it could change people's lives. So that's my advice, is be ready for this day, September 2nd. Prepare for it. Start now. Make some plans, set your intentions clear. Your dream journal, Neptune, the spiritual things, and Pluto and Mercury are very, very strong for mediumship, healing, and really high energy. So everything is possible, and you can choose to be Joan of Arc or go the other way. It's your choice, but the choice is very clear. So just stay on the path. Don't despair. And get up each day with energy to say, I'm going to be kind and loving to everyone I meet, and you will be happy. And you will spread happiness to everyone else, and you'll be healthy. And that's the message for the week.
Where are you? You got to put yourself.
Oh, put myself.
Please. There you are. We had a couple of comments while you were on a roll there, but I didn't see you look up.
No, I didn't.
Okay, you were just, that's what I do too when the flow is there.
I can't look up and, or I will just.
So here is, Maria is grateful. Our smile can be a ministry.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
So I hope you are all forgiving for me for not doing any charts this week or doing my emails, because I was really in Kagunga. And so I apologize. But the good news is I have I have a laptop, and I sent to the astrology people and I said, send me a new download so I can put it on this laptop. And I had bought this. I tell you, I got to put in a plug. Walmart refurbished. It's a computer. You can get computers that have been rebuilt, really cheap, and they really work. So I got an extra one, and because I need to sit in my hospital bed because I've had back surgeries and double spine hip replacement. So I want to be sitting in my hospital bed to do this work, because when I sit at this desk too long, I just can't. So that's. But I'm set. I got my laptop.
All right.
So I'm going to do it. And this, I promise, I really do.
We'll get it worked out. So a palette cleaner from between Lalit and then messages for questions. I've got another one for you. If you ever get caught sleeping at work, slowly raise your head while saying, "In Jesus' name I pray." That'll get you out of it.
Or at other times too. It's always good.
In Jesus' name I pray. Oh yeah. Jesus is my boyfriend. Jesus is my boyfriend. All right. So Dawn, I do have your numbers here, and your how does this birthday go with that birthday? As long as the one that was born in 63 is flexible enough for the creativity in 1956, things are going to be great. It is let me just see on my notes here, just a minute. Just a minute. 8 and 3. So according to the norm, the regular people out there, with which I don't follow very much, to say the truth, it can be a hard combination. So this person, 56, is a 30/3, so it's like a double 3, and that's creativity. This is what I want to say about 3s. Nobody take offense, but I'm going to say it. Their creativity, they have incredible communication skills, they're all really great. But the shadow side is that if you force them into being serious and in obligation, they can be very creatively brats, just brats. The creative ones can get under your skin and little passive aggressive kind of things. So give room for creativity. I believe the one born in 63, it can be a bit, enjoys debate more than much more than the person born in 56. So debating is going to be kryptonite for the 3, and being in obligation is going to be kryptonite for the 8. I think that's what he has. So I think that's the way it goes. I do hope that helps. Appreciate that. The next one is, and whoops, sorry. The next one here is Cynthia. Now, Lalit, boy, those come in pretty fast. Just a minute. Let me see if I can fix this. That's a little better. So we still see Lalit. Lalit, did you have anything to say on my last? Did you get any hits?
No, I didn't. I was looking at the questions and comments. Good. And I didn't.
Because I'm not there.
Okay, I was just looking at them, and SR, I'm glad you had a good Tuesday. That's wonderful. And I'm looking at Cynthia. 12. You mentioned that birthday, 12/11/80, Cynthia. My daughter-in-law is born in November of 1980. The one that just had that change in her. She was born in that same time period, a few days away from your son's birthday. Yeah.
12/11.
She was November.
Oh, maybe switched, huh? So
it doesn't. I'm not saying that she's gonna experience something like that. I don't mean that, but it is a transition. It is a time of change for sure, but not in a bad way.
So I'm going to read this question out loud for those who are lurking and working and not laying eyes on our beautiful smiles. Cynthia wants to know, can you tell me if my son will be a little more softer instead of it's on you, mom. It's on you, mom. Thank you both. So, I got to tell you, and your son announced himself. I love that to the word at 11:06.
That's good. That's a good one.
The thing is, I know your number, your master number, and your son is a 23/5. And they have a hard time with obligation. Here we are with obligation, but it's kind of worse. It's kind of harder with the 5 life path. And if you're being a mom that says, now remember, you have to do this, your something's coming up. Remember, you have to do this and this. Are you doing that and that to keep yourself healthy? That gets under their skin. they need the freedom and autonomy to do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do. So another thing that's not in your favor, if you want a softer guy, I believe he's rocky, like spontaneous anger, probably is what I'm thinking, fractious anger. He's having a 4 personal year. So he is obligated by life, not his mother, obligated by life to tie up loose ends from what he's already created. And so you probably know what those loose ends are. And I'm not sure, but you might be reminding him to get this done. And so it would be in your best interest to try not to care what he does. Try not to control it. I know you know best because I think we're the same number and we all know best, but it's not very healthy for him or your relationship. Oh, Ness, hi, it's good to see you. Oh, here he goes. He is rocky. He drives me nuts. Well, he drives you nuts because you're attached to his rocky, and it's a trigger for you. I'm going to get a little firm. I'm sorry ahead of time, but there is you command a room. You are able to command. That's not the numbers or anything. You do have your stuff together, and you have your intention in life is to help others cut out the wasted time, identifying what's not going to work for them ahead of their path so they can have a smoother path. That intention is really wonderful. I mean, it's really wonderful. But if you have any kind of expectation for your son, he will disappoint you, period. And it'll continue. But if you try to lift, if you think to yourself in your mind, if I say this thing, will I have an expectation of a certain response? Like, oh, I never thought about that, Mom. Thanks. Then you're going to be disappointed. So act without expectations. It's really hard, especially if you're dealing with someone that you love and you want them to respond, and you shove out a text and you press send, that expectation that they will reply in a timely manner is setting yourself up for a disappointment. So just ask, and if you are expecting something, acknowledge it to yourself, and then remember to be the observer of it. So oh, my good friend. Thank you, Cynthia, for letting me know how that was landing. I appreciate it. But if you don't have expectations for your son, you don't age. Did you know that? What he does is, he does him and you do you, that kind of thing. So you're saying, thanks, I tried to make him think it is his idea. If anyone can do it, it's you. But it's time to stop that, because up until now, apparently it has not been working. This strategy you just said, where you just try to make him think it's his idea, manipulate. You're a wordsmith, definitely, but you still ask the question, you need a softer tone from him. And if that's your strategy, it's not working. So think of a different strategy if you can, and just try it out, because he'll feel the energy right away. Let's see if that works.
Cynthia, would you do me a favor and email me, astrology vibrations, plural, @gmail.com, your son's place of birth. And then I will this weekend send you a little message about him. Okay. I need his place. So email me that and I'll get back to you, and thank you. As I have yours I found yours here, but not his. So I don't think I ever had his. I'm not sure, but I don't see it anyway.
Hi, Annie. Okay, so I'm going to go back. There is another question. I got to get over there. And thank you so much for putting them in capital letters so I don't have to squint and make wrinkles. SR says, question, how is my relationship with P, your person of interest? Saw each other Tuesday. It was great, but short. What do you see for both in the next little bit?
I'd say tread softly, be cautious, be patient, and keep a positive attitude. And I think you'll be, things will go the best way in the best way for you.
Right. Oh yeah. So I'm going to say, I'm doing my cards right now. I'm going to say, if you can not have expectations of him. God, that's hard to do though.
That is very hard.
That is so hard. But
really
if you could just check yourself, because we go in and out of being victim and observer, right? And if we could just ask ourselves that question: am I doing this with the expectation that it will charity would be mirrored back, or a compliment will be mirrored back, an acknowledgement will be mirrored back? If you could just witness that and say, oh, I'm just going to send it out, and just try it once or twice, and your life is going to be so much easier and happier and light. But it does look like it's about the same. Now, Tuesday was a good day. It was too short. And of course, but I don't see it changing. Anyway, so as far as coming back in for another little rendezvous, it does look that is an option for the next week or so. So that's something to look forward to. Absolutely.
So SR, I would add simply that, remember, when you have a burning longing in your heart for something that you desperately want and you don't have, you are pushing it away. So instead, enjoy the small things of the moment fully, appreciate and enjoy fully the present moments, that the moment, when you have another meeting, enjoy that for what it is, and try to just live in that enjoy of the moment without big expectations that at this time are not going to be what you're not going to get all the big expectations you want. So enjoy what you will have, which can be perfectly wonderful and fine. If you can do that, that's hard, but that's it.
Yeah, it's Mary says that's that advice, Lalit. Slow and steady get you to the place of accomplishment. So true. So true.
The tortoise wins it.
Yep. Yes. Well, we are out of questions, it looks like, which is fine.
Out of questions?
You want to know why?
Why?
There's a long weekend, I think, coming up.
Yeah, there is a long weekend.
A few people down, but we have lots we could do. I'd like, if you want to do a little, Ness wanted to ask, sure, Ness, but please put, Mary, you put in one. Can you copy and paste that? Again, Ness, yes, I can answer a question from you. All capital letters, please. Sorry. Yeah, but we could read on, I have not felt sad hardly once with the election, the polls and stuff. When the polls were a year out, don't look at them. I don't care what it says. But
one thing let me make a comment about that. One big thing, this is bigger than polls, because in the polls, you don't know who's going to show up to vote. But one sure thing about the people who are just registering in time to get there, they have an interest. So people have noticed that if you have just registered, you're hugely more likely to go and actually vote. And guess what? The Black female population registration is up like 187%, almost 200% of what it ever is. Also, Black men, young people, all the people who we know we have a better, that we know that who they're more likely to vote for are registering in unheard of numbers, never before seen. 187% higher. 187%.
I heard it was 75, but that could have been
187% more. This was as of a few days ago. 187% higher for the Black women registering now in the important states where we're looking for their votes. It's huge. And those are the people that are going to show up because they're making an effort to go now. It's not like, 10 years ago and now they don't care anymore. They're doing it now. We know that those are hot off the press. And so that it's up so high. They're saying that these registration numbers are crazy and never before seen.
I'm just, Delu, thank you for that. I'm going to star that. Okay, just a moment. I think I started.
Yes or no question. I'll get out my little rods.
Yeah, do yes or no, because that one was for Ness.
I'm getting myself organized. I have my little pendulum, my rods, my Debra cards, and I will have all of my files in order for next week, I swear. But I've been sort of helping move. My daughter-in-law had to clean out her whole room and move everything, and they don't have a car. So it's been intense. All right. Yes or no question?
Wait a minute. Yes, I can't find your secret question. Was Kim and Linda G really connected? Read connected and true cap letters. I don't know what that means.
Instead of wondering about whether they were connected, could you send us an idea of the question? I mean, just somehow, you don't have to spell it out, but instead of wondering about them, can we address the question rather than what other readers saw? Would that be acceptable? I mean, I don't want to talk about what other readers saw, but I'll address the question. Then you can compare it. How about that?
All right. Now you keep looking at the chat for her response.
So we'll ask the secret question for you.
I'm gonna hold off on that one. And would you watch the chat to see if she says something farther? I just want to tap into this is a learning opportunity, a teaching opportunity with Mary Thornberry. My father, born August 16th, 16. Does he have anything to say? He passed October 3rd. And again, she says August 31st, 1916. Father, any message? Okay. Oh, it'll be his birthday tomorrow. So I would like to share with everyone again how you do mediumship when you have a client that would like mediumship. And what you do is you take your deck in your hand and you lay each card on top of one another upright, and I mean just so you see the picture, and you wait for a reversed. Oh, there he came in right away. A reversed court card. Now, what's interesting is that this. I needed to have a king come in to tell me it was him. If it was any other reverse court, I would just have to say, well, your mother's here, your grandmother's here, or something like that. So he came in as representing the King of Swords, meaning that he was very bright, very thoughtful, overthinks a little bit. I hope that resonates with you. But now when you do mediumship, the very next card starts the message. You can't miss. And so the very next card is a master card, and he is telling you that you have everything you need right now to be successful, to be happy. I don't know if you're longing for something and he's coming in for that. He's also encouraging you to go out more with people. There is a woman who is alive. I don't know if it's going to be your mother figure. It's someone a bit older than you, and she's going to play a big part on this. She's a woman that has a command over tangible items, money, everything like that. And so I do believe your father is inviting you or suggesting you meditate on who this person might be and ask them for lunch. And everything is going to be, and also I hear him say, tell her I'm creating opportunities for her. Tell her just to relax. I'll do everything. Isn't that great? So I hope that helps you. I think this is he came in really fast, really, really fast.
That is such an interesting, that is a really interesting technique for mediumship with cards. That is beautiful.
So what I do, Mary, thank you. I don't know if that resonated with you, but the thing is that I use tools to get into the room of knowing. Once I'm with my tools into that room, then I start hearing and seeing things. But to get there, and a lot of people I hope a lot of people I'm assuming a lot of people are like that. It's like waiting for that person to come in to speak to you. Well, and then your anxiety starts lifting, saying, wow, nothing's coming through. What's going to happen? Use tools. You'll use tools to get into that room of knowing. And I'm going to star your question, L. Angus, so I don't miss it. Okay. Oh, wait. This is a cool question. Let's just read on it real quick. Do you have an opinion about? Yeah.
Yes, I have a strong opinion about that. Either way, it's going to be a win-win situation because Kamala is going to be really on her game, and she's going to be so smart and have all the information at her fingertips and putting up with no poo-poo.
Did you hear her swear? When she swears, little flowers come out. And that's not really,
as Nancy Pelosi would call it. She's not going to put up with any of that. Yes, and she's going to be strong, and the other contender is going to be losing control.
That's just the other contender. The devil card.
The devil card. That's exactly it. Completely out of control energy, negative energy flying in all directions, incoherent. And he's at the beginning of a very big fall off the cliff mentally. Mm-hmm. It's the beginning of where he's going to really begin to really lose it. And it's going to be a very intense fall from grace.
I'll like tickets for that. So what I want to say real quick to get to the other questions, quick. I know she's in debate prep, and isn't it interesting that on my reading with her, I've got two really powerful people alive. I was thinking maybe her mother would come in, but alive, that are helping her with this debate. And guess what? It's rest after a long battle. She will be prepared, and she'll do us proud. So I just wanted to grab that real quick.
Back to the mediumship reading that you just did. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is helpful. I am
delighted to be. Sorry. What?
I don't. This is for the mediumship reading that you just did. I had this talking with heaven the cards. I just pulled a card. I don't know whether this hits the mark or not, but it said
it's for Mary Thornburg.
It said this was for the person on the other side. Said now I have no pain.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. Does that help? Does that help you? I hope it does. But that was it. Now I have no pain. So a person is living freedom. Yeah, that's the operative word, right, of this period. Freedom. That was freedom from pain. That can be a good thing.
Was Kim and Linda G. Was their read true? Is that what it means?
Well, I read to the end, and Ness wanted us to answer a secret question that she's holding in her mind.
Oh, thank you.
Yes or no?
All right.
So Ness has a secret, and we're not going to find out.
I love you,
but
Ness.
We can tell her yes or no.
Okay.
So here it is for Ness. This is for you, and you don't have to give us any details. So yes or no, Ness? Yes or no? I get a yes.
I got a no. I got a hard no. So that'll be interesting. So you're going to have to tell us which one's right.
Or maybe both. Maybe they happen in sequence. I said it first.
So I guess that's it.
Yes. Yes, but then
Well, then what I did was I second guessed, which my guides are used to me second guessing. Well, are you sure? And I got no again. So please let us know how that feels for you.
Yeah, you don't have to give us any details, but let us know.
She'll probably get on the line and say,
helpful or not. So what? What am I going to do with that? That didn't help.
So this is good. You mentioned the 23-5 needs freedom and has issues with obligations. What does a 32-5 need to learn? Thank you so much. The 5s in general, so the two numbers before the life path number are the lessons you need to learn to move into full potential of the 5. And so when you're and the 5s always need a little anchoring with options. They need options at all times. But as I hope I understand, so the 23/5, the 3 is more important to learn than the 2. You need to master to the 3 and 2 together, but the 2 doesn't have as much consequences. The 32-5 means that they have, for instance, they have to master the 2, which is all about boundary setting, giving too much, being too harsh. I mean, you need to find a balance so you don't give away the farm. The 3 is for creativity, but for the 23-5, it's creativity first to find the balance. So it's just that, the 2-1, I do things this way. When I learned the tarot, I read upright. I got a little tiny bit bored with that. So I learned reversals, a little bit bored with that. Learned mediumship and it just moves into, so it was where I was just doing the life path number. But then for insight, I can see what this person, so this caller has a problem and what part of those lessons that need to be learned haven't been conquered yet. And so I can filter the information through that. If the 32/5 comes in, I'd say, you know what, you're giving way too much of yourself, or you're extended into someone else and imagining what they want you to do. And then you put pressure on yourself because you don't want to do anything. Leave me alone. But the way to get to that lesson is through creativity. When your mind is blank and you're drawing a picture or something like that, that's when the balance comes in. Does that make sense? I hope it does.
Debra, you always surprise me what a genius you are, and how a wonderful lesson. I always learn so much from you every time you talk.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, I'm not sweet, telling it like it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, I find it fascinating, and I just love helping people. And it's just, there's no better feeling if that helps.
There's no better feeling. That's right.
Right.
Everybody. That is the message today, isn't it? We started with that. We come right back to it. That is
she
it.
says it makes sense. Oh, that's nice. Sometimes I can you rattle on and there's a question mark. But we need to land. See, how can I close the show? I don't have another rhyme or anything to give you, but I want to say we should land this plane, or we should close this door. We should dance off stage. I think that's what we'll do. We're here every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Can we put on the freedom music to dance off the stage? We get a copyright infringement.
Yeah,
but accentuate the positive.
That's right.
For our playlist from last week, I hope you enjoyed it. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative.
That's
Don't you mess with Mr. In Between.
I put that playlist, Good Vibes playlist, on. I think it's in this one, but it's in all of the. I put it in the show notes. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Love you all.
Have a happy